full of muscle can't stop me. Hey,
One.
come on.
Fight.
Hello all and welcome to episode 3 of the Swindler podcast. I hope you're all doing wonderfully. Big shout out to our guest for the raid. We're not going to say his name yet. We're going to keep it ambiguous because none of you motherfuckers know who it is. I don't even know who it is. But today we've got a really exciting episode ahead. We're going to be talking all things Tekken, getting into Tekken. If there's any newcomers to the scene, this is going to be a really good one because you're going to get to hear it from someone who's gone from zero to fucking hero. I'm joined by my co-host, Hangman. Hangman, welcome.
Thank you, Poultry. Very happy to be here. Also very happy to, welcome our esteemed friend here. And, this is the Swindler Podcast, our vehicle to finally get Majin Obama on a podcast with us.
It's coming.
And we'll keep
Margin.
going. We'll keep
I know you're out there,
until that
brother.
happens.
But without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to someone who's joined the scene very recently. Tekken 8 is his first game. He's a bit of a streaming maestro, coming from Call of Duty, competitive first-person shooters, a kickboxing extraordinaire. Chai, welcome to the pod, dude. It's a pleasure to have you.
Mate, it's an honor to be on here. When you hit me up about it, I'm like, yeah, there's all this like talent in OCE Tekken, and these fuckwits have hit me up.
Oh, dude,
what the fuck?
Dude,
No, I'm honored.
Let's give him some context for those of you wondering why the fuck would you have Chai on your podcast? Well,
we need the engagement boost. I'll be honest.
we need the engagement boost. That's
Yeah,
it.
they paid me a lump sum for the dead following I have.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, my
it's gonna be
wallet
great,
has
bro.
never been lighter. This guy's expensive. No, being completely honest though, you guys will all know because the vast majority of you here right now are from Chai's stream. Thank you very much for the raid. Chai has joined the scene within like the last year. Completely new to Tekken 8. Literally zero to hero, beating Rest in tournament very early into his prestigious Tekken career. But what's been really fascinating to watch is one, having someone who's already naturally a very good presenter, already knows streaming to an extent that the Tekken community doesn't really know it. Take on a game as complicated and as painful and as frustrating as Tekken 8 in full stride and really bring a lot of newer players alongside with him. It's been a blessing having you in the scene, and yeah, big welcome. Hope you've been having a great day. Hope it hasn't been treating you too badly. What have you been up to today, dude?
Literally woke up, work, straight on the ranked, baby.
Real.
That's what we call living the dream around here. That's what we call living the dream.
Real as fuck. Well, speaking of living the dream, we do have a couple of things that we want to quickly announce before we get any further. So first things first, we've got TGX coming up this weekend. For those of you who don't know, TGX, aka the Game Expo, is a yearly event where a bunch of video games get announced, a bunch of tournaments happen, and we've got Tekken 8 as one of the tournaments. And we've actually got Chai, who you'll see is here on our commentator talent list. So you guys are going to want to tune in, and you've got no excuses because this is your boy. And it's going to be fantastic. We've got a pretty decent prize pool. I believe it's like a $1 grand prize pool for Tekken 8, which is going to be awesome. There's a bunch of other games that are going to be in attendance. And just looking at the commentator talent, we've got Cool Joe, we've got Tom Scott, we've got Chipsy, one of my favorite people on the planet, and Brown Man, who's going to transition pretty nicely into something we'll touch on a little later. The Bars Gauntlet. I should probably actually bring up a picture of it. We recently had Pakistan versus Korea over the weekend. We're going to touch on that a little bit because it was an electrifying event. And finally, Hangman, what can you tell me about this one?
Yep, so Pixel Tekken 163. So everyone knows Pixel Bar is a local here at Melbourne. It's a tournament and casual every Wednesday. We open at 5 p.m. and tournament starts at 7 to 7:30 p.m. But this Pixel Tekken is a bit special. It's probably the most stacked Pixel tournament of all time. You have Yagami, that guy that did well in Saudi Arabia that one time. You got a Navi or Chen NY, Pakistani Smurf. You got Crying
Smurf.
Legend, the former Deception. You also have Yumi, who is now a Melbourne resident.
That's actually
We poached
huge.
we've poached one of New Zealand's best players, and he's right here. And you also have unknown, unveiled, unpeeled, uncircumcised, whatever his name is. He's right here, also in this tournament. So this is probably the most stacked pixel bar of all time. The V took it up. I'm very sad I couldn't be at this one, because I've been sick, and you might find me a bit nasally. But I want to shout out this pixel bar. It's a really stacked one. Very happy to see competition leveling up, even at our own locals.
Absolutely, man. For those of you who haven't known about Pixel, it's a hallmark of Melbourne Tekken. So if you live in Victoria, go out to one. They're always fantastic. The hosts are amazing. You're going to meet up with Crying Legend and Cool Joe, and they're going to take you under their wing, and they're going to convert you to the Church of Tekken, and you're going to be better for it. It's going to be fantastic. But going quickly back to the Game Expo, Chai, you're actually going to be in Melbourne soon. When?
I'm literally finishing work tomorrow, getting home, and flying straight away, basically. I'm getting to Melbourne, I think, just after 10 p.m.
Jesus.
It's going to be rough, but I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm crashing with Sayo and Tom Scott. It's going to be,
Nice,
the beer's
man.
plentiful.
Nice.
Plentiful.
Man.
It's going to be a really fun time, man. I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited as well because the only Melbourne Tekken event I've really got to go to was BAM. And it's definitely not a bad thing. The last BAM was amazing.
It was.
But like to see something like TGX, I'm really excited. I'm sad I'm missing a Pixel. I still have to go to a Pixel.
You got to do it.
I'm really, really excited to see it.
Got to do it. And you're staying with Tom Scott and Sayo. Who's Tom Scott? I can see him here on this picture. I can see him in the chat.
That guy sucks, man.
That guy sucks. Ah, okay. I'll stay away. Now, who are these lads you're staying with? I think the audience needs to know.
Look, Tom, I can't say enough good things about him. One of the best commentators I've got to work with.
Mhm.
Great dude. Sucks at Marvel though. Also a streamer himself. No,
Dude,
I will say
you're trying to get in trouble.
my one definitive Tom Scott moment though, apart from him gassing me up, was this year at PAX, right? Me and him commentate together. He's like, hey, do you want to help with Street Fighter? I don't know shit about Street Fighter. I'm going to be so real.
Mm-hmm.
Go out the night before. We do Tekken. I'm hungover. I'm just trying to get through it. And this guy knows I'm struggling. So do you know what he does? Midway through a set between, I think it was Seoul and ROF, he just looks me dead in the eyes while we're mic'd up on stream and in the arena and goes, so what can you tell us about the action happening right now, Chai? And I just
that's
look at him
brutal.
like, I was just like, you...
That is actually brutal.
I felt so defeated in that moment. But apart from that, I can not say enough good things about him. He's an amazing dude. Love that guy.
Tom Scott is an absolute legend in the scene. Keep an eye out for any upcoming events because he's likely going to be on the mic and he's likely going to be killing it. That does kind of remind me of a funny little story. Quick tangent. The first time I ever went on the mic at an event was at YSB several years ago. It was the first and only YSB I've ever been to. And I go and compete in the tournament. I get my ass beat. I think I got snake-edged by Katarina into losers, and then got my ass beat by a Lee player. And then we get to top 8 at the end of the day, and Fade is on the mic. Old mate Yusuf, the king of Sydney, one of the goats of the Australian Tekken scene. And he wants someone else to join him on the mic, and I'm like, I've been playing the game for like 6 months. Sure, fuck it, why not? And it's Akuma versus Deviljin. And I had no idea what either character did. So it was pretty much me just saying, oh, nice down forward one. Yep, he goes for the low. Yep, down forward one. Yep, and that was it for about like an hour and a half straight. So that was pretty banger. But no, Tom Scott, Sayo, both two legends from the scene. And to get into things, Chai, you're the guest of honor today. Who are you? Tell us about yourself. Like, what's been your journey, I guess, up until this point, even prior to getting into Tekken? Like, why do you stream? What's going on, dude? You're a buff, handsome lad. Why are you hanging out with the nerds?
Dude, the thing is, before I didn't really know what Twitch was before I got into streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I was actually training to be a Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah.
COVID happened. Literally, stuff started shutting down. I'm like, oh, I'll be all right. The day before a Muay Thai test I had to do, I was actually also meant to fight over in Thailand. And right before I'm about to take it, like a couple hours, I'm already stressed as fuck.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, hey, all the stadiums are closed in Thailand now. Do you still want to go over? I've paid for my accommodation, my flights. I'm like, well, at least want to go enjoy my holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Go over there. And then I come back. I think like I literally, you know how people will like had to go into like the hotels and stuff if they like came back after a certain time? I missed that by like 2 days. Thank God.
Thank God.
But at the time, I couldn't train properly. I couldn't see my partner at the time, and I was work from home. So I was like kind of playing games a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, my mate was like, "Oh yeah, don't be a fuckwit. Like I'm streaming right now." And I'm like, "What do you mean you're streaming?" And then like I kind of got introduced to Twitch that way. So then I started streaming, and it kind of all like went through there. And I was doing it full time for a bit. Like moved out on my own from it. It was just primarily like Call of Duty sniping and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was about 3 and a bit years. I think year 4,
Mm-hmm.
Tekken 8 comes out, and Tekken was actually the first ever video game I played when I was really, really young with my dad. So I had like a soft spot for it. It was Tekken 2 specifically.
Yep.
The first ever character I picked was Law.
Yep.
Had the Bruce Lee face and everything.
Nice.
So when Tekken 8 came out, I'm like, we'll see how that goes. And then it's kind of all been history from there. It's such a stark contrast from everything I've done prior.
Yeah.
But I actually love this shit. It's an amazing scene. I cannot stress how much I love Tekken.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a Glaze question, but like you seem like this is like a very good fit for you, I suppose. Like you mentioned that you were streaming Call of Duty, you're doing sniping stuff mostly. So I'm guessing that you'd played quite a bit of COD like back when you were younger, and then it was just kind of a natural precipitation from there. But the whole streaming thing, I suppose, from day one, how's it kind of been for you? Did you have like a rough Rocky montage kind of start, or did it feel kind of natural and you just eased into it?
It kind of felt natural, like, because I was very lucky enough that a bunch of people from the COD sniping scene came to Twitch like when COVID happened, because obviously everyone was inside, no one was going out for the most part. And so like I'd have all these people come through like, hey man, like used to watch your stuff back in the day, and would like support me and all this, and it was like, this is weird. Like all I did was make Call of Duty videos to music. I don't know what I did, but like I've even had people be like, oh man, like your videos got me for a lot. I'm like, if Call of Duty quickscoping helped you in any part of your life, you know what? I'm glad I'm the one to have helped. I don't know how, but sure, why not?
Well, I have to ask. I've never been good at sniping, but there are some phase cross and phase pomage montages from back in the day that they were my season. It was like when Pomage did, I think it was Catalyst. Cross did one with this guy called like SLP or some shit.
I know that.
Yeah, and it had like the full-on 3D CGI, like destructive environments and shit going on. It was like when that was first starting to roll in, people started to really abuse like 3D CGI in their montages, just to like flex on everyone. Me, as someone who was completely external to the COD scene, was like, fuck, I'm 14 years old, this is art, and this is banger, and my mood is heightened for the next couple of months while I wax poetic about this montage I saw on YouTube to my classmates. So I completely see it. I see where they're coming from, because that was the same for me. And I'm sure that even Hangman, coming mostly from Tekken predominantly as his like competitive game, there are matches that you look back on and you're like, fuck yeah, that was important. When I saw Rev Major Losers Finals, the match that got me into Tekken 7, dude, that match has a special place in my heart. It's real, dude. Games are sick.
Oh man,
games are sick.
I actually haven't watched minimal. I've watched minimal Tekken 7 matches and stuff like that.
That's fair.
It's like actually, funnily enough, I think it was during my subathon. It was actually, this is such like a random match to watch, but I think we were talking, I think Tin Lu came into conversation, and I watched him versus Kudans for the first time.
Yes.
And that match was crazy.
Oh my god. Hangman, can you give us like some backstory on the mysterious 500 milligrams trend per week?
Yeah, sure. So Tin Lu has been a staple of Melbourne Tekken for many years. He hasn't really played Tekken 8. I think he got to max rank with Brian at when the game came out, and then we haven't seen him since. But Tin Lu's been playing since Tekken 6, Tekken Tag 2. Always been a top player here in Melbourne. And that BAM was special. He beat Kudans. It was Paul versus Devil Jin, Season 1. It was a really special moment. You know, he's got the Red Bull cage, right? That was the Red Bull cage BAM.
Yep.
I remember watching that, and then he came out. I think his name was a cute guy at the time, right?
Something like that. He had a tag.
Yeah. Oh no, it was Lee Min Ho.
Lee Min Ho, that's the one.
Yeah. He's known by many names. 500 milligrams strand per week, not recommended.
Not recommended.
Lee Min Ho and cute guy. I think he's rocked cute guy for a long time, I believe.
Yeah, fair enough.
And we missed him. I think Yagami wants him to come back basically every time I have a conversation with Yagami. He's honestly one of the best the country has ever produced.
For real, he understands the game at like a very intrinsic level. It's crazy to watch. And for those of you who don't know who Kudans is, the mystery player that Lee Min Ho managed to beat at BAM. At the
Kudans
time,
is the legendary Heihachi player in Tekken 8.
legendary Heihachi player in Tekken 8.
Legendary Heihachi player.
He
Fuck
might
right
be, you know how sometimes you get a character in a video game or a weapon or a specific thing. You think of Simple in Counter-Strike, you think of the AWP. You think of Devil Jin in Tekken, you think of Kudans. He took that character to heights that no one has ever
By the
done
way,
before or
That
since.
was the year Kudans won TWT.
Yep. He was
He beat
in peak
Kudans on the
form
year he beat TWT. Yeah.
using Paul. And is Paul even his main?
I think at the time he doesn't have a main. And to be honest, until the end of time, he doesn't have a main.
I
but,
don't
you
think
know.
he's had Law phases, Anna phases, Paul phases.
Lars,
He's played everything.
Jack. Yeah.
Kudans is the GOAT, but he's not the GOAT test. That goes to Lee Min Ho. But yeah, just regarding, I guess your transition over to Tekken, Chai. What was it that made you decide, yeah, I'm going to play the game? Was it that match? Had you already been tinkering? Because you mentioned that you played it with your dad when you were younger. I myself had played Tekken 3 with my dad and my brother when we were really young. And then only came back to it with Tekken 7. But what was, I guess, the thing that pushed you over to give it a try?
I guess it was just at the time Call of Duty streaming felt really, really stagnant to me. And I said for years, I'm like, I really want to do other things. And now I've done the thing where I said, hey, I'm going to play a bunch of other games, but I'm just still only playing Tekken. It's really bad. I streamed it and I did a special long stream for it. And the community was really, really welcoming to me. It was really nice. I think the big thing that sort of helped me cross over, I think this is when I was still playing Law and just mashing buttons, because that's what I'd always do with Tekken when I tried the online. I'd mash buttons, get my ass kicked, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, I don't understand. Bye. And just play something else. I really love Tekken's story. But I played Daituka when I was in orange ranks when the game just came out. And two people recognized my name from the COD scene, and that was Chip and Pip.
Mm-hmm.
And then they saw I was streaming, and then slowly I met more and more people. I think the big thing that made me want to all in and just try and learn the game as much as possible was competing at AGT1 and Road to Evo. Those were my first two tournaments. It's still crazy to me that because someone DQ'd when I rocked up, my first actual ever offline tournament match was Rest. It's still so funny to me.
And you beat him.
And you
You beat Rest. I've never beaten Rest in bracket. I played that guy 3 times. This guy beat Rest.
First try, easy money.
That tournament was so funny, dude. It was so funny. You know what my first match I watched was on that note too? It was Jabba versus Naveed.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Jabba beat Naveed, and Jabba is now one of the best Marvel players in the country or something.
That's
I
so
know.
funny.
I remember it. It was one of the side setups in the middle. And all of a sudden, I was with Chip and oh, that's Naveed. He's I knew everything. The first couple players that we mentioned were Tin, Yagami, Naveed, Extra, and I think it was you, Hangman.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there watching, and I'm like, man, this Devil Jin's really beating up Naveed, hey. And then the end of the set happens, and Jabba wins. And I was just sitting there oh.
Goddamn.
Was that meant to happen?
Goddamn.
So it was a really funny tournament. I would say if I didn't go to those two, who knows, man? Maybe I don't be as obsessed of it. I don't know.
I remember you very well from that tournament. We haven't really spoken much at that point. I think Chip introduced you to me. And I think that was it. But I remembered your Rest match. I caught the tail end of it, right? Because I looked at the room. I think it was on the right side of the room, and everyone started crowding around the area in the back. So I started walking to the back, and I asked, "Hey, what's the score?" And he said 1-1. And I looked at the round count on the final game, and it's final round, and my eyes just fucking widened. And then you had this fucking godlike, something happened. And then you pause for 2 seconds or something, and Rest was waiting for some panic button, right? And then you hit that rage out, Rest clicked the button, and the rest was history.
Nice.
It was the craziest ending I've ever seen.
Dude, I wish that game was recorded to this day. I was to Chip, I'm like, hey, actually, no, don't record it because I think I'm going to get killed. Just because Rest was one of the first Tekken streamers I watched. And I think I played as Raven when I first started playing. And I'm not even kidding, when we got up there on the stage, I'm like, I'm a fan, bro. I'm excited to play you. It was like really funny looking back at it. Now that you like state of mind for OHN. But I still remember just the whole room looked at me like I did something wrong with that rage out happened. I don't know like how to describe it, but ever since I started playing, I guess it's just COD timing. I just look for like some sort of reaction and like hope for the best. But I distinctly remember just everyone looking at me very weirdly. And when I like reported score to Yusuf, he just looked at me like, no fucking way. I'm like, yeah, like 2 on my way.
Real, man.
That was, I think that was like AGT 1 was fun, but that was the one where I'm like, I just want to go to every event possible now.
Nah, that's fucking sick, dude. It's funny. I don't want to get pseudo-scientific, but funny that you mentioned COD timing, because I did think about this at one point, because your rage arts piss me off, dude. They make me want to shit the bed. I rewatched some of our gameplay. I know you mentioned that I was going to mention the rage arts. I'm mentioning the rage arts. Whoever was betting on that, GG's, you get $10. I did want to say though, because I've never been great at sniping in first-person shooters. And I specifically think about Halo because that was probably one of the games I put the most amount of time into when I was younger. But if you miss your shot, you die. That's it. And so if you've come purely from fighting games and you've had it beaten into you from day one that you gotta play like a Korean, you gotta do down forward 1, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I think that can get lost on you, that aspect of accuracy with a high risk but high reward option. Especially in a game like Tekken where we don't have DPs, because in traditional fighters like Street Fighter, that move is typically the DP. That's what people think of. It's your get off me tool, and it's death on block. That's the idea. It's like, you want to get someone off you for free? We'll make you invincible, but you're gonna fucking explode if it gets blocked. I think that's really interesting because you do play the game like a sniper. Like your counter hit timing's crazy, and those rage arts, they're making me fume, dude. Oh god damn,
dude. I feel like if I'm playing someone I know, I always feel like funny after doing it, but it's just like, I don't know. It's literally become like muscle memory to me now. I'm just like sitting there like borderline. Look, if the thing I look at the most is just the hands, that's the thing, and I just go off that. It does get me killed a bit, but I don't know. Like everyone just always says, like, what is up with you and these rage arts?
But it's worth it. Like you present the option, and then the opponent's mind fucked regardless of whether or not it hits, because now they're thinking about it, right? Unless it's like me, I'll still eat it. I'll eat it the next round. I don't give a shit.
So many times it's just like I would rather lose gambling that than not gamble and then get like generic load. Like the one that sticks out the most was when I played Yumi and Flightless final. We were both at like def range, and I just sat there, I'm like, I can rage out now. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Would have hit and I would have killed, and then he just generic lows me, and I was just like, oh, this sucks. Not about Yumi. Yumi is, like we were talking about earlier, like one of the best players from New Zealand now in Melbourne. I didn't realize actually up until recently, because of the conversation I had with Arashi, I thought he hadn't moved yet.
He literally just arrived 2 days ago. I picked him up.
Oh, okay. Is he staying with you right now, or?
Yeah, he's my new roommate.
Oh, what the hell? That's
how crazy
sick.
is that,
Yeah, I
man?
know. Yeah, so that's the power couple in Melbourne.
New Melbourne power couple.
Hangman and Yumi, they're already too good.
In one household.
they're BAM grand finalists together at the same BAM, and now they live together. How fucked up is that for the rest of Melbourne?
He actually lived with me for that BAM as well. So we both traveled from Geelong to Melbourne every day for the tournament.
What the hell? That's actually so sick.
I know. I was surprised. Like, I can't believe I had to play my training partner for the whole week. And I cashed in all the reads I had for the whole week. And then
you did him dirty with alley kicks in grand finals.
Exactly.
How rough is that? Yeah, Shinny, if you didn't know, Yumi's in town, and Melbourne's about to get a substantial power up because having Yumi and Hangman under the same roof, going to the same pixels, going to the same BAMs, it's a good time. It's a good time.
That's why we're pro-immigration out here. That's why we're pro-immigration.
You guys do not need any more power-ups. Like, respectfully, in my opinion, like, unbiased, like, you guys are, like, the top, like, state. It's pretty, like, well, just off Yagami alone. But then you add everyone else, it's just like...
Yeah, we have Yagami, and then you got Pakistani Smurf. It's a bit unfair.
But...
It actually is unfair.
I wouldn't sleep on New South Wales, because what seems to be the through line, at least as far as I'm aware, is you guys have a lot of hidden boss players who don't seem as active, but when they do go to shit, you've got, like, Rek and Eli and stuff like that. It's like...
Eli will never compete, which sucks, because... funnily enough, like that was another name Chip mentioned when I got into the scene, and it was Road to Evo, and he pointed him out. I'm like, hey, like sorry to bother you. Like, I just heard from Chip, like you're Eli, like the Eli. Like, lovely to meet you. First Danny's, I like play some games with him too, and then like after a couple of times seeing him, he always goes to Danny's. He like occasionally goes to YSB. I was like, why don't you still do like what you used to do?
Mm-hmm.
And he just doesn't enjoy it the same. Like, it isn't his like cup of tea anymore. He likes playing the game like at locals and stuff, but that's about it.
And if
And
you
it's sad
watch
to hear
how
because-
he played Tekken 7, he really like played into Tekken 7, and it fit his hand really well. The way that he played Steve, the way that he played Kazumi, the way that he played any character that he played in that game. Super defensive, really good fuzzies. Once he got in your head, once he got any kind of information on you, it didn't matter how close the match was, he always won it somehow. It was like, he was in control the whole time. It didn't even matter. And when you come into a game like Tekken 8, where it's so different at such a fundamental level, it's like, it's unfortunate, but Rek's been playing quite a bit, and he is absolutely absurd. You guys have your killers, and I'm hoping that as Season 2 progresses, we're going to get a lot more people back into the scene. But one question I did kind of have, I guess, because you mentioned earlier starting with lore in Tekken 8. You've also mentioned being a COD gamer and having Call of Duty rage arts, those collateral rage arts. What made you pick Victor? And was Victor when you were like, yeah, I'm gonna actually properly grind it? Did you spend quite a bit of time on lore? What happened?
I think I like struggled. Like, I hit the wall, like the canon event, like when you get into Tekken where you hit your wall and like you got to work out what you're doing.
Yeah.
Mine was, hey, I'm gonna play another character. I can't win.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was Jun, and then it was the same thing basically, because Jun I've always thought is like one of the coolest Tekken characters ever.
She is cool.
Then I was like hosting like viewer lobbies and stuff like that, and a bunch of them were picking Victor, and I'm like, man, this character, like, they're French, but they seem cool. Like, let's give it a go. And then just kind of went from there, I guess. And then like it was like the one I was having the most success on. So I'm like, all right, I'm playing all right. I'm like beating people and stuff. Like, let's try and like learn this a bit. And all I did was, I still to this day feel so bad, man. I didn't understand like anything about bugs or anything like that, and all I was doing for a little was just running up to people and throwing them, not knowing that victors were bugged. So people would come in and be like, "Man, what an ass!" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, dude," and not knowing, like, it's so much funnier now. Like, I'm pretty sure I did it in the first AGT as well. Sorry. I still to this day feel bad about it, but it was like the character I was having the most success on, so it's like, let's try and like figure out what to do here. And I still think my Victor like needs so much more work, but it's like the one I'm the most competent on. If I'm being realistic, I would like to like main a character like Devil Jin or Hwoarang or Reina. Those characters to me, like looks wise, like so cool. Yeah, so cool looking.
Yeah, for real.
But I just cannot play them to save my life.
No, that's perfectly fair. I recently tried getting into Hwoarang, so I've been shopping around for a secondary. At the moment, I'm mostly playing Feng just because he's very easy. Like, I played him a bit in T7. I used to play Kazumi in Tekken 7, and Feng is very much that kind of character. Just poke, harass, cash in. But when I tried Hwoarang, I was having such a blast. It was so much fun. But every time any degree of pressure was mounted in my head, no matter how small, I would get stuck in a stance and wouldn't fucking know how to get out. And I would just be like spinning around on the spot, going in and out of stances, having no idea what to do, and then I get launched in the back, and the opponent's just sitting there wondering, like, what? This guy just have a seizure at the fucking hitbox. What's going on? So I feel you, because there are some definite execution ceilings with some of these characters that are pretty preposterous. But with Victor, then, you mentioned that you feel like you've got a lot more that there is you can do with the character, which is a really awesome place to be in, because a lot of people will look at characters that have move lists that are more on the smaller end, and they'll typically find that wall for themselves, I suppose, pretty early on. But you seem pretty devoted, and you're already doing like 90% of the things that Victor can do. So when you say that you feel there's so much more that you can do, what are you meaning by that?
I guess it's just my playstyle. Like, I mean, pretty much everyone in OC like knows what the game plan is. Like, if you've run into me before, like, let's be real. I guess it's more trying to adapt and like find a better answer, because like after entering tournaments for like a bit now, I'm like pretty confident in like the early stages of pools for the most part. But then you get to like the upper echelon, like, and like the higher players, and then it just, if I don't adapt, like if I like don't adapt, I'm just already dead. I already know that. So I guess it's just learning what to do now. I like kind of realized that very hard the last local I went to. I like struggled like heaps, and I'm like, okay, we cannot keep doing the same thing. It only gets you so far. There's so much more to do. It's just working out how to do it, and that I don't have the answer to yet. And especially like with season 2 around the corner, that probably like changes, like especially look, that cheap Power Crush heat engager, they're all going. Thank God. I'm so happy they're all going. People are like, oh, you sell? I'm like, no, do you know how many others go away now? Thank God, dude.
Real.
I'm really interested to see. Like, I think the Tekken talk is like 4 days away now. I can't
believe
wait.
it's the Monday. I believe it's the Monday, right?
I believe so. I'm excited, man. I don't even know the date. We should know this. We're podcast hosts. What's going on? Bare minimum. Well, it's funny that you say all of that, because I'm going to put something up on the screen, and this might come as an embarrassment to you, and I have no shame. Chaya recently won a Tekken tournament for the first time. Didn't drop a set all night. Feels good to do it right before 1 year of officially entering my first tournament too. Congrats on this, dude. That's fucking awesome. Tell us about Trouble in Paradise 8. What happened, dude?
You know what's funny? I actually rocked up there to get my mind off. Like, I have like a lot going on in my personal life that day. I'm just like, I'm going to locals. I'm just gonna try and get some more experience and stuff like that. Because I'm going to Evo Japan. I'm going to Korea, so I want to like stream and compete there. I'm very excited for that. So I'm trying to get as much like offline and like just experience in general I can. Dude. The first game I play is Nick, and I'm just like, oh
yeah, rough.
Fuck.
Rough.
Fuck. I'm just sitting there like, great. Somehow win that, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's nice. Because I think genuinely, in my opinion right now, out of all the players in Sydney, he's the one to look out for. He's like improving so much. He got second last night, only lost to Asilla. He's gonna be great. Somehow beat like Shoegazer off that. I'm like, huh? Why am I winning?
Yeah.
Like it sounds weird. I have this weird mindset with Tekken. I don't know why. It's like I kind of feel like it's not deserved. Maybe it's like because like I play an easy character.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I get like even after like if I'll get a decisive win, I'll like sit there. I'm like, I didn't win that. Oh, I don't deserve that. I need to stop. It's actually a really bad habit. But it was just like I guess I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It felt nice like winning and stuff like that. But my next genuine thought was, damn, I need to get a lot better, dude. I like was happy for like a minute and it was cool, but all I could think about was I need to get a lot better.
Real. I mean, and what you say about the imposter syndrome aspect of it's like, I feel like any fighting game player has probably felt this at one point or another, because you're condensing like potentially hundreds, potentially thousands of hours worth of grinding and lab work and this, that, and the other into a series of 5-minute matches. And sometimes you do the bullshit and it works out and you're looking at the other player and you're like, fuck, I know who you are. I know your name. People talk about you. Why would you let me do this? And you sort of just gotta like take it on the chin, take your win on the chin, and just be like, you know what? Maybe I'm alright. Maybe I'm good. Shit to learn. Plenty of shit to learn, but maybe I'm good. No, that's awesome, man. Who did you end up fighting for grand finals?
I think it was Nick and then Shoegazer, BC, Blueberries, and then I had Cal in winners finals and then Cal again, but he didn't pick Jin, which I was sad about. I got the weird Tekken 7 like Devil Jin into Kazuya. I'm just like sitting there like, come on, man, give me your good character, bro.
Give me the Jin. Give me the Jin.
Give me the Jin, bro.
A dub is a dub. Next time he's gonna come ready. He's gonna come prepared, and you're gonna be ready, because you've got some travel coming up. So you mentioned Korea and Japan. Korea and Japan. What's the go there? Where did this come from?
I've always really wanted to go. Like, I've only ever traveled to Thailand, and it wasn't even a holiday for the most part. It was just to go over and like train in Muay Thai. Yeah. Please give me Fakaram or Bruce already, for fuck's sake.
True.
Please.
True. Josie, let's go.
I'd be okay with Josie. I'd be okay with it. But give me one of them too, and I'd be so much happier.
Yeah, real.
Yeah, I don't know. Ever since getting the Tekken and then like watching like how ranked is over there, watching tournaments over there, I just sat there and like, I want to go and see that for myself.
Yeah.
So got really lucky. The support during my subathon was insane. I'm like, all right, I can actually afford to do this. I'm going to be competing at Evo Japan. I'm hoping to do a Tatakai Tuesday, and I'm definitely going to be streaming some ranked while I'm over there too. I absolutely know whatever rank I'm in when I leave for Korea, it's going down by -5 minimum when I stream that game there.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutal over there.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited for it, man. Like, again, when getting the chance, I think when I watch Rest stream and like he's streaming his sets, like when he's in Korea now, it's just like, oh my god, I'm so excited, but I am going to die, my guy.
Real, man.
It's part of the experience, right? It's a rite of passage. Like everybody, even top players from like America and EU, whenever they visit like Asia, they all jump into rank and they all lose their GODs. All of them lose their GODs, and a lot of them never make it back until they come back home. You know, it's very rare for them to actually get GOD back. It's that difficult.
Well, I think like that's one thing into Tekken, and I've only just really discovered it only recently. Like I'd say in the past couple of months. I think if you can learn to like, rather than like see it as a loss whenever you lose like a tournament set or a rank set, and more just a chance at more info, you begin to enjoy the game so much more. Because when I was like hard forcing myself to grind for GOD, like I got it off stream. It turned into these like miserable streams where I was just silent and angry, dude. Like it was just like, oh, I'm not winning, I'm doing terrible. Like recently, I'd probably say like after OHN Melbourne trip, that's when it like I was like, oh, this is just natural now. Because I got called out for this. Like I never said it publicly, but I think I said it to like Rest and Nasty and stuff. I was like, if I'm not happy with my OHN result, I think I'm just gonna like give up on Tekken. Stupidest thing. But it's like coming from a scene with COD where it's like you essentially, once you get there, it's like you can get good in a week or two. You just need to like learn everything.
Yeah.
This game is so hard, man. This stuff is going to take years just to be at like an average level.
And that might be with like one character as well.
Yeah, that's with one character.
Yeah.
Just with one character alone. There's like what, 36 in the game right now?
There's a few.
It's gonna be even bigger.
Yep.
It's like actually crazy to think about.
It is. And what you mentioned there is actually perfect, because this is something that I try to explain to newer players who are hitting that same kind of despair wall that everyone runs into when they're trying to grind ranked for the PNG. And I don't want to downplay the PNG because I love the PNG. We all love the PNG. No matter who the fuck you are, I don't give a shit. Nee loves the PNG. Okay, it is what it is. Being willing to enter into a round and just tell yourself, okay, in this round, I've got a goal. I've got a thing I'm trying to accomplish. I do not give a shit if Naveed kicks my ass for the 14th time in a row. I want to launch this one thing that he keeps doing. I went into the lab the other day. I saw that I can launch it. I'm going to launch that thing. And then you launch that thing that one time, and because you went into it with a preset expectation that you didn't give a shit if you won, all you focused on was the learning aspect, what you could learn from it. When you hit that one thing, it feels like you just won like a first attempt. It's like
the dopamine is crazy from it. It's actually like messed up. It's addicting. It's actually addicting, man.
Yeah,
like
and I think that's because this is one thing that games like Call of Duty do incredibly well, and Hangman could probably attest to it as well. Look at any other big esport game, like maybe League of Legends or anything that Riot work on, really, is this thing called intrinsic motivation, which is where the work of art or the game or the media or whatever has things that are designed to motivate you to continue your pursuit of study in that thing. Extrinsic motivation is when you are setting those checkpoints for yourself. And a game like Tekken, that's got Bandai Namco as its developers, doesn't do the best job at communicating to you, hey, here's something that you could do that'll make you better at the game. Here's something you can practice, or here's something you can work on. That's going to make you feel better in the moment about the fact that you just got your ass beat. It's all extrinsic, or a lot of it is extrinsic. But once you have that click in your head where you're like, fuck, I could actually do this really cool thing on Victor, or this really cool thing on King or Steve or whoever in this match, and I don't give a shit if I win or lose, because it's going to make me better in the long run. That's when it really becomes like a big deal. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, this game's sick.
Oh, dude. I think, again, it was like just learning, going from like mashing a couple buttons to, learning, hey, I can do this in X situation, Y situation, and then like getting out of a call or like streaming it to Chip and then doing it. And it was just like, holy crap, this is incredible.
Yeah.
I guess from like what I used to come from, like with COD sniping stuff, like it wasn't really competitive. I guess it was more trying to word it. It's like everyone just made videos for everyone's like approval and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
like obviously trying to get good ratings.
Mhm.
So like the feeling was like recording X amount of time, putting out the video, people really enjoyed it. Sick.
Yeah.
It's so different with Tekken.
Mhm.
It's so different because once you get to a certain point, it's like you don't get that anymore. You're like kind of doing it for yourself and just sitting there, whether it's minutes or hours, trying to like finally do that one situation which you labbed, which you might not even see the whole day.
Yeah.
But you finally get it. You get that one chance. If you either fail it or you do it, and you're just in there like either excited as hell, is like, oh, just gotta wait until the next one.
And what's cool as well is as you get better at, I guess, the kind of mind games and the kind of moves you want to use that can force out the likelihood of that thing that you practice actually occurring, which is really sweet.
Yeah.
Because maybe when you start off, you lab a specific thing. I used to do this in Tekken 7 all the time. I'd lab some fucked up Kazumi setup, and that character only had like 5 moves, so it was hard for trying to find the setup in the first place. And then I probably wouldn't get an opportunity to use that setup for like the next 5 months because I didn't know how to set it up. In the moment, I'd forget to do it. It was like, fuck, this is bullshit. What's going on? I don't get it. But then you keep grinding and you keep playing, and it's like, fuck, I can actually set these things up myself with my own brain power. I can mind fuck the other guy, and then I can do the thing that I want to do. And it's like, let's go.
I think like even like a simple one when I first got into it was like for the first time, like just round start sidestepping, seeing something whiff and down forward towing something. I was just sitting there like, oh, I understand it now. Like that scene, like Trunks in Dragon Ball, for God's sake. That's genuinely how it felt.
Dude, and you're playing
crazy.
the sword character too. That's fucked up.
I'm a cheap bastard. I know it. I
Cheap
know it.
bastard. You're down forward 2, 4-4-2, hit me from full screen. Makes me want to cry.
That's the thing about Tekken, right? Like not being able or not knowing to do something, generally you get punished really, really hard,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But as soon as you know something, generally in Tekken, the reward is like amazing as well. Sometimes, depending on what you're learning, maybe reacting to a move or knowing an option select, you can completely shut down someone's defense, and that feels really, really nice.
It does.
You know, that's like the kind of things that I really like playing about this game. You know.
For sure. For sure. Well, this was something I wanted to ask. I'm going to circle back around to Korea and Japan because I do have a couple more things I wanted to ask you. But you've got a background in real life kickboxing. I'm curious to know then, because have you done bouts then? Have you done fights in kickboxing?
I was meant to have my first bout when COVID happened, which is why I was so
gotcha.
sad. Cutting weight sucks. Cutting all that weight just for it to cancel, I was so miserable. I was so hungry because I love my food. I'm on a bulk right now.
True.
I did compete in Taekwondo when I was younger, but Taekwondo compared to like actual fighting, like look, despite Hwang and Bake looking cool as shit, it's mainly glorified point fighting. I think as a kid, I had a record of 8 fights, 4 wins, 4 losses, 1 win by KO.
Yeah.
And man, I was just sitting there like in the rush of like combat, like I still spar and stuff like that. But my main priority right now is like working and like for the most part streaming because realistically, there is no money in like kickboxing unless like even if you're a world champion.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. Like MMA and boxing, like the big ones, boxing especially.
Yeah, that's real. But with that, I suppose, I'm curious to know then. Well, quick question actually. Taekwondo, you said it's point fighting. Is that as in you're doing things to score points rather than trying to beat the other guy up?
Basically, yeah. It's like why I'm also not really like a fan of like belt systems in some martial arts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For the most part, with the rules in Taekwondo, depending on what sanctioning body you have, you're wearing like this giant kick pad. It feels very uncomfortable to wear, and like you have to try and like kick with it, and it feels weird because the kick pad's going into like your hips, and you have to like. Here's the thing: you could kick someone really hard, but because it doesn't make a specific slap sound on this giant kick pad shield, they won't score it as a point. You could throw out like this really awful like snappy kick that like slaps it, doesn't do anything to them, but because they heard a big like slap, they'll score you a point for it. And that to me, it's just like. I get it, but that isn't like what I'm about.
No hit markers.
Yeah, I get it.
No hit markers.
No hit marker sounds, exactly.
Geez. Okay, fair enough. Well, what I was kind of curious about then, because you just mentioned cutting weight as well, that being a pretty brutal process. And for those who don't know, I'm not versed on this topic, so maybe you can chime in, but prior to bouts, prior to fights, you have to reach certain weight specifications, and that often includes cutting weight, which is a massive physical toll on your body. Like, how long were you doing that for?
I think prepping for it, I was doing it for about, I think the camp was about 8 to 10 weeks, and I started cutting weight, like slowly, like easing into it more and more. Because at the time, I also worked a job. I don't understand how people balance the two, but I'm just walking around like my office job, miserable. I'm on like 1,600 to 1,800 calories a day, slowly, like more and more. Wearing this, like, do you know what a sauna suit is by any chance?
I don't know a sauna suit, but I know about saunas with cutting. What's a sauna suit?
A sauna suit is like this, like oversized, like made of this material, like track pants and like jacket that you zip up, and basically you train in it, and it's really gross because either sweat comes flying out of it, or when you take it off and you like drench it, like it falls out. That's crazy. People go in the saunas into it too, or like cover themselves in a bunch of blankets. And I was doing the sauna part for the last like probably week, a little bit over a week, and it was so bad. I was just hungry all the time. I was sore from training, but you got to keep pushing through of it, because otherwise, if you don't train hard enough, you are going to get the shit kicked out of you.
Real.
Just plain and simple.
Real, dude. Real. I guess then that's another curiosity. Do you feel like your kickboxing training? This is something that Brian F. If those of you who don't know him, he's a very, very famous world-class Street Fighter player from the US. He's got an incredible YouTube channel for anyone who's interested in fighting game philosophy and commentary and psychology and all that jazz. Check him out. He's one of the GOATs. He had Sajam on a podcast, and Sajam is in the exact same tier of super upper echelon fighting game player / commentator bro from the US.
Wait, I thought Brian F and Sajam are the same person. What the hell?
True. Ultra Instinct David, whatever his name, just a bunch of white American fighting game players who all look the same. Sajam has a background in wrestling. And so Brian F had him on for a really insightful podcast, which you guys should all check out. I'll see if I can find a link for it. But he was talking about how that really informed his ability to compete in fighting games, because Sajam's won a few tournaments for a few different games, and he was saying that the difference between competing in a video game and competing when the repercussion for your loss and even your win is not being able to get out of bed properly for the next 2 weeks is very different. It's very different. And it's allowed him to have a degree of mental fortitude, I suppose, and a degree of like nonchalantness about his tournament matches, where it's like, yeah, if I lose, I got to learn and I didn't get gutted in the solar plexus like 14 times in a row. I'm chilling. Like, do you feel like your kickboxing has kind of helped you, I suppose, with how you approach the game?
This is going to be the funniest thing, because I think I've actually spoken to Hangman about this and one other person recently.
Yeah.
I have genuinely been more shitting myself for fighting game tournaments than actual like sparring or like when I did compete in Taekwondo and I'm go. I wish that was a joke. I can't explain it. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. But especially at offlines, like when getting to like the later part or like even like against like certain players, I'm sitting there and I'm like,
God damn.
Fuck, this is not fun. It's fun. It's like fun, but also not fun. But I'm just sitting there like...
the anxiety is not fun.
The anxiety part of it is not fun. That is correct. That is correct.
Do you feel it quite... This is actually something I think I might have spoken to Hangman about. One problem I had when I first started getting into Tekken and first started entering events was I couldn't identify physically what the anxiety was. So I'd be playing, thinking that I'm playing fine, but I'm just dropping everything. And I got no idea what the feeling is. And then only like much later, after like a bunch of really thinking about it and really trying to put my thumb on it, it became more apparent, and now I can kind of identify it and figure out when I need to do some damage control, I suppose. But like for you, does it just like smack you in the ass? Is that kind of the feeling?
It just basically my heart rate that it gets like really, really elevated. I'm just sitting there like overthinking it, like almost like it's borderline life or death.
Yeah.
I think the two calmest tournament runs I've had would be once I lost at OHN and got sent to losers. Tom Scott and Bino both like, I literally just fought every person next to me I was playing was Bino, and it made it so much easier.
That's bangers, dude.
What the fuck?
I wish I could have that every time I competed, dude.
Okay, so no, and it was so much easier because the day before I money matched him. So I was like, okay, just picture him just saying what break is that and all this shit.
That's
and it made
funny.
it even easier because the next person I played was a Jack player.
Oh my god!
So I'm sitting there like, okay, thank God.
It's another
like,
big
it became
idiot.
so much.
Let's go.
Yeah. But so then when I was playing Drip Master, like even when I lost the first game and ran it back, I was just sitting there like, yeah, it's fine. I'm just playing Beano next to me. I couldn't do it so much when I played Cooper because that's a whole different bean.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
that's fair.
That's when I felt the calmest. Same with
Yeah.
TIP because I was just like trying to like the one I won. I was just like, yeah, that's just another day. Like I'm just trying to get experience.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to constantly have that. My first BAM, the whole time I was shitting myself. I don't know why. I felt so nervous.
Yeah.
Hell, like, bro, I mean, I'm not even kidding. Hangman partially sent me to despair zone, bro, when I played our husband because it was 1-1. I think,
I'm so
and then no, oh, dude, I do not blame you, man. No, the thing is, this was like before the big coaching stuffs happened, but right before like I went up, Chip was like, "Oh yeah, as long as I'm not commentating, yeah, I'll help you out." Guess who was on commentary for my match? Yep. So I'm just sitting there looking around the room, and I have no one. I look like a deer in the headlights, and I get killed in my game 3.
Oh no.
I finally.
I tell husband, and whenever you're plus, you sidewalk right and you block.
That's it. God damn
Real.
it. I'm sitting there the whole time. This is like, I think, 4 or 5 months into the game at this point. I'm like, man, what did he tell him? He must have been on like some complicated stuff. It just sidewalk block, man.
So,
God.
that's it.
I was genuinely so relieved. I went out to AFT. Super friendly. I like was so nervous to play him because like I've seen him stream. He's so lovely.
Just
And
real
then, like,
quick, for those of you who don't know AFT, aka Friendly Tree, Hangman, if you could possibly chuck his YouTube in the chat, he might be one of the most important people in the entire scene globally, just because of the amount of work he's done on educating people on how to beat characters. Go to his channel, find a character that you don't like. He's going to have a video on them. He's going to go through how you beat every string, every bit of bullshit that they've got. Incredible resource, incredible person. Legit one of the kindest people in the scene. But yeah, continue, Chai.
What? Yeah.
We go to final round, and I don't think I actually played many Ninas at the time, but I somehow like take a game there. I'm sitting there stressed. Go to the final situation, I lose. And then at first I thought I'd be sad because like I was staying with all these people that were like pros and like high placing people. But I was more relieved, if anything. I was just sitting there so nervous because we had to get there at 10 a.m. My pool wasn't until 4 p.m. I lose the AFT. And for a second, I'm like, oh. And I'm like, wait, I get to watch the tournament now. Thank God it's over kind of deal.
Yeah.
That was like one of the most nerve-wracking ones, I think, for me.
Yeah, real, man. Real. Nerves are crazy. You don't even think they're gonna be there, and then they're just there, and it's like, how do I get rid of this shit? I don't know how to do it.
I saw your hand shaking on stream as well, Chai. That's like absolutely insane.
It's still common, bro. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, I guess, and it's like, well, 2 things. 1, a couple people aren't playing right now and entering, but 2, like I kind of treat like every tournament, whether it's Flightless Weekly number 72 or like a major, like it's kind of life or death almost. I'd like to think. And I don't know why I have that mindset. Sometimes it's helped me win. Sometimes it's made me get in my own head. I need to like really find a balance on that. I think for the most part, it's hard as a newcomer. Like even though I have like, I'm very thankful to know a lot of people in the scene that have been nothing but kind. I think at the end of the day, when I do play, I'm the only one that can decide what I do. And it's learning how to like compose myself no matter whether I get 6-0'd or whether I win a close one or lose a close one. It's learning how to deal with that. It's hard, man. How do you guys do it so well? I don't get it.
I don't. Hangman?
Time in the game, honestly. Just time in the game. I think playing familiar opponents, even if they're better than you, is less nerve-wracking. I get nervous as well when I get to play people I've never played before in tournaments, because it's first to 2. Every hit counts, right? And it gets to you. And inherently it gets to you. Even when I am trying not to think about it, your mind just knows that there's going to be some level of variance here. Anything can happen, right? And that's when the adrenaline kicks in, at least for me.
Real. Well, we've got Shinny here. You said you would need the complete opposite approach. Try to act like this is the least important game of all time. You just got to pretend you're
playing Beano.
Yeah, pretend
you're playing. Like I said, I swear to God, I felt like I was playing Beano. Like, I'll give you an example. Before I played Cobb and lost there, I had to play Lucky Strikes. Do you know how much I was shitting myself when I knew I was playing him?
I can imagine.
And then I'm sitting, oh, dude, well, he doesn't have Marduk, but I'm still sitting, I'm like, he probably knows what he's doing. And I just run up to him and just start like wall running to him, and he's not pressing. I'm like, oh my God.
I have a chance.
He doesn't know anything about Victor. And I just instantly like just am so relieved because I like just cheese my way to beating him. But at that moment, I'm just sitting there like, I'm genuinely looking at Lucky Strikes like he's the Undertaker or something. And I'm like a 7-year-old child.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
Yeah, real. What works for me, and your mileage may vary depending on how popular characters are in your region, but it's kind of just telling myself like, hey, this guy in front of me might be feeling the same way right now. 1. 2, there's like 36 characters in this fucking game, and all of them have 246 moves. And you can't block all the bullshit in a first to 2. You just can't. And this game, it's got enough ways to swing the momentum, I suppose. Because this was like a common complaint for people going from Tekken 7 into Tekken 8 was the game feeling like it has too much comeback factor and too many ways for like a newer, less experienced player to steamroll around. But with Tekken 7, like the way the game worked, it was so powerful to have really good fuzzy defense, which is basically inputting specifically timed ducks into like your movement and your actions after certain situations to cover for a lot of things at the same time. You got low parried in that game. You got a full combo, including a screw, into the wall, into guess for game potentially. And so some of like the baseline defensive things was so strong that that in itself could feel like a mindfuck. But I feel like if you're able to just look at the guy in front of you and be like, hey, dude, you may have 10,000 hours in this game, and maybe you were once a competitor, but do you know this bullshit? And then just having the confidence to let it rip, especially if you can do it somewhat early on. Like you immediately started establishing wall running 2 when you fought Lucky Strikes, and that was enough for you to get that confidence boost, right?
Yeah.
It's like you got to cling to that shit because anything can happen in a first 2. And you got to be like, all right, this is the info that he's given me. I'm going to trust that, and I'm going to run my shit. Come hell or high water. And because I have the confidence to run it, I'm probably going to be more likely to remember when things don't go my way. And then maybe I can make those adaptations that I need, which is good. Zekken saying breathing techniques go hard. Real. Actually real. I do a few of those between.
For me,
sorry, you go.
For me, what really helped is understanding tilt doesn't really help make decisions. And I classify tilt not just like when you're frustrated, you're feeling like you want to win, you're down. It's also like unwarranted overexcitement when you're playing. Maybe you're winning.
Yeah.
Worrying, all those things I classify as in-game tilt. What matters the most is making the best decision at the time, right? And it can be hard, especially under pressure and duress and so on. But I feel like that plus everyone is human kind of makes kind of helps a lot, I guess, for me.
Yeah. That last BAM that we were all at, we had a bunch of Koreans in attendance, which was awesome. Rangchu kicked my ass in round 2. That was sick. My little brother, actually, he's not like a long-term Tekken player. He'd been playing for like a few months up until this point. He'd been playing Eddie, grinding out the combos, learning all the shit. He actually went and played Knee in one of... Knee basically sat down at a setup, and they had a long line of players going up to play him. And I've got this photo, and irrespective of how relaxed Knee was, knowing that he had it in the bag or not, who knows? Who really knows? I have a photo of my brother being 2 for 2 in rounds versus Knee with a health lead against Knee's Paul. I've got this photo. I have it. I took it on a really nice camera. I sent it to him after the fact. He posted it on Facebook, and it's like, dude, that's what it's about. Doesn't matter how new you are or how inexperienced you might be. The other guy is a human, and maybe they're playing sloppy in a day. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they're really anxious because of X number of reasons that you don't know. And it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I'm just going to run my shit. And if it's working, I'm going to keep doing it. If it's not working, I'm going to change it up. And it's first to 2, Anything can happen.
Oh, dude, First to Two is such a scary format. Like, definitely
is,
been there.
dude.
But first, no, do you know what's scarier? And I'm not even trying to be funny here, dude. YSB, when there was a team tournament,
Mhm.
1-1, right?
Oof, oof.
Do you know who was genuinely the scariest player? Like, I'm being serious. The scariest person I've ever come up against because of this? Sage. I swear to
my
God, man.
You've got
I know.
I love that guy.
I love him, bro. I almost lost to him that YSB. There's picture everyone behind us yelling, and it's like final round, 1-1.
Mhm.
And he's actually, for some reason, playing out of his mind. I wish it was recorded.
Yep.
I've never seen Sage play so well. And of course, I'm the one who has to deal with it.
Oh,
I'm like,
dude.
are you joking me?
And you're
That
dealing
was
with
so sad.
when you fight against certain players as well. It's like even factors external to the game as well. There's like a lot of ego in fighting games. It's you versus the other guy, right? At the end of the day, and all of those thoughts are swarming into the back of your head, and you're like, "Fuck, why now?
Oh, dude.
Why now, dude? That's crazy. I wish that was recorded. That would have been sick."
Oh, it was so scary. It happened at last YSB as well. I've actually, ever since OHN, I've been playing with like my earbuds in and their noise cancelling.
Mhm.
And somehow, some way, Cal is so loud. I can hear him every time. And
Yeah.
just between every set last time, I just hear, oh, I've got $10 on like either me or someone else. I'm like, bro, shut up.
He's running
Like,
a
we
full-on
can't-
bartering court in the background. You're just trying to focus and not eating a random down forward two. It's like, fuck, dude.
Dude, then he's saying stuff like, "Oh, that's a $10 rage art like that." I'm just sitting there trying not to lose my composure. It's so sick. It's so sick.
That is real, man. That is so real. Oh,
It
goddamn.
is.
First to two. Well, I did have something I wanted to touch on with quite a bit time left to go, so this is good. You've done a few videos on it, actually. Chaos in the chat, the gambling goes hard in Sydney. That it does. That it does. We need a little gamba. Little gamba here and there, never hurt anyone. Hopes and dreams, Chai, for season 2. We did mention earlier that we've got the Tekken Talk coming up very soon, and then I believe it's like a week after or 2 weeks after, and we're straight into season 2, which is super exciting. Firstly, let's talk Victor specifically. What are your thoughts about where Victor is right now? And then I guess after that, what do you want to see in season 2?
Honestly, like short and sweet for the most part. EI down 2 in heat is just so cheap. It absolutely needs to go. If that move does not get shot in the kneecaps, I am going to be so genuinely surprised. That move is actually so OP. For the most, I'm really interested to see what the new engager is, because back 1+2, obviously, like getting shot with the heat engager change. But to be honest, it should have been gone a long time ago. I don't know, like where you'd give it to, like maybe EI 1+2. I think sidestep 1+2 was like my first thought, but I think it would kind of be like useless as an engager. His combo, he has so much like cool combo expression, but the thing is, it's like the optimal stuff is just the easy stuff to do. I don't know. I just hope they don't break him. I don't think they will, because people do complain about it, especially people still like complain about expulsion, and it's a pretty cheap button with like the right timing. I would like to see like his lows get a little better, but also I don't want this game to become like, I'm trying to think of how to word it. I think the best way to say is like every character should have its weakness, and that for Victor is like a bit of his linearity and his lows being bad. Not every character should be perfect, so I don't want them to make him busted in that sense.
Yeah, that's perfectly rational. Then I guess season 2 more generally, I suppose. They've
Shoot Yoshimitsu. Please shoot Yoshimitsu.
That's true. Yeah, we're gonna get we're gonna get a massive balance change, which is really exciting. It's my favorite time of any Tekken life cycle. And also there's going to be some new systems changes. You're going to be able to step into the foreground from crouch. For those who don't know why that's a big deal, this hasn't been in Tekken, I think since Tekken 1, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure when it was, if it was implemented prior, but that's going to really change up how characters approach a lot of their pressure, a lot of their ability to move in certain situations, which is exciting. Yeah, just looking at the way that they're going to be changing the game from like a system standpoint, they've got like the new full crouch option from Heat. You got any thoughts there? Anything you're excited for, or anything you're like, oh?
I really just want to see that list. There's so much. Like, Safina has that install now. The whole thing with Anna in that launcher, we still don't even know what it properly means. I just hope that isn't like busted on launch.
Mhm.
I really do hope that we get a big meta shift. Like, I think we're all tired of seeing like the same like top tiers for the most part, like feature in every tournament.
Mhm.
Not that like tier lists matter and stuff like that, but I just want like a big shake up. I want to see those top tiers move to the bottom, even if it means like a character like, I don't know, Lydia, for example, like gets like way more shine, even though I don't care for her. I just want to see something fresh here.
Yeah.
And I think the thing I'm most excited for again is just season 2, like the competition. It's going to be
Yes.
really intense.
Yep.
This is like because the one thing coming into this game that I did know about was that this is I think this is the first Tekken like ever to not debut in an arcade first, right?
Yes.
So this is
correct.
essentially the arcade testing period,
Mhm.
like vanilla Tekken 8.
Yep.
So I really hope, I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt that they are listening and they'll make the changes that are needed. I'm sure there's something that's going to be broken. Nothing's perfect.
Mhm.
I guess I'm really excited to see who moves up to where, and more importantly, how does everyone deal with their character getting stronger or weaker? Like,
Yeah.
will people drop their mains and move on to someone else? Will they stick it out and ride through and show like, no, it wasn't my character being busted. It was my knowledge and how to like play the game that got me there. That's the most exciting part of season 2 for me.
Yeah, agreed. And it's gonna be a spike in players. That's like one of the big ones for me, and you felt it yourself, is hopping on ranked at some of the higher ranks, and it's just like no one. It's like no one, and then finally Gulu or Nick are online, and it's like okay, we're gonna
dude,
get some matches.
When it was dead and it's just extra, it's just like,
Oh, dude,
well, I guess I'll try again tomorrow, man. You know what? I had a fun day. We'll try again tomorrow.
you can't
It's
even
alright.
you can't even deathmatch extra for long, because then you fall out of his elo bracket, and then you gotta fucking get your PNG back. It's like, dude, come on.
See, I'm gonna be so real. When that day I got my GOD,
Yeah.
I literally just said, I'm like, I was just like, nah, man, I need to
Done.
get away from this before I stress myself out. I'm a scumbag. I know it. I will be
I
playing.
wish
a lot
I
of
had your mentality, because
Oh.
the first 4 times I got GOD, I lost it on the same stream.
Oh, dude. Well, I got it again. Not even like trying to be a dick. I got it against you, and I'm like, yeah, I'm happy, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I played. I'm not gonna lie. I farmed Dowitz a lot. I didn't know until someone told me. Apparently, he was considered like the best player in the region during T5DR or
Fair enough.
Tekken 6,
I don't know the
and
lore
he was
on it.
playing Heihachi.
I always,
so
I don't know if you might be correct, I might be correct. Dowitz, did someone say that to you out loud? Because I've always called him Deutz.
Oh, I've just always said Dowitz. I could be wrong.
I respect
I
it.
could be
I
wrong.
respect it. Dowitz. It is what it is. Brown man?
DOITZ.
DOITZ.
He was. I would like go pretty even into his Devil Jin. But he was playing Heihachi that day, and if you like go and look back at the date, it's just this big death match where I'm just farming him for the most part. And then I got against you, finished that set, and I'm like, just get off ranked.
That's it.
You've got it. Just
You've got it.
de-stress, bro.
That's one of the
And I
big
think-
pitfalls people talk about, is like, if you're having a good ranked session and it's bedtime, go to bed. Don't do the one more. Don't do the one more. It's Satan. That one extra match is Satan, and you're gonna regret it.
That day I actually took off streaming. I think I just wanted to chill out, and I was like, oh, I got to charge my phone before I go to kickboxing, and I just went on a decent streak. I feel bad because I'm at this like crossroads with it, where it's like, look, I fought. So for those that don't know, like when a COD goes past year 1, it dies. Like it pretty much essentially dies. Like the player base depletes. And I thought, oh, Tekken won't be the same, right? Oh god, I was so wrong. Like,
yeah,
it's still like it's active, but it's not like once you get to certain points, it's a struggle.
Yeah,
I like the whole argument for like everyone should be playing ranked like at their rank. I totally understand it. And I feel bad for not contributing, but it's just plain and simple. If I'm not feeling like doing it, I know I'm not going to enjoy it, and I think that's like my number one thing. If I'm not enjoying it, there's no point forcing it, and I just want to play optimally.
And you don't owe anyone your time.
You
don't
don't.
owe anyone your time.
You don't. That's real.
You play how you want to play.
Yeah, for sure.
Just don't be a dickbag to other people when you're playing. That's all. Not referring to you, of course. But,
No. Of course, I know.
No, that's real. That's real. And it from a practical standpoint as well. Like I've thrown in the towel so many times. I'll message people before stream. I'll just be like, "Do you want to do a first 10 at some point?" just in case I have that down period where it's like there's just nothing going on. You gotta have player matches in the back of your head. Gotta do it.
I think genuinely, like aside from tournament, the most I've learned is from long sets for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, and I find them way more fun, if I'm
Yep.
being completely honest. They're so much more fun.
They're great. I love running first to tens, first to fives. It's good because you get time. This was that thing we were mentioning earlier, right? Where you come up with some setup or you learn some strategy or counterplay, and you might not even get the opportunity to implement it. But if it's a first to 10, you're probably going to have a fair few opportunities at some point to do that thing, even if it's fairly specific. And maybe you will or won't capitalize on it, but knowing that you've got more time to work with, it's sweet. It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, here's some specific tech. I hit it, I feel good, and then I get steamrolled in a first to 2 versus a PSN Wi-Fi law player, and it is what it is.
Are we talking about Voodoo Child right now?
We're not mentioning any names.
So we are talking about Voodoo Child is such an oddity, dude. I remember the first time like playing him and like I was like stomping him, but just something became seething in my brain the moment he like actually hit me with a rage art at like -19, dude. I shit you not. I just remember just getting up out of my chair, just so angry. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Just pacing the room. It happens, man. Some players have that confidence that I don't know frame data confidence, and it's banger. It's actually so sick.
I'm not gonna lie. For the most part, that's literally how I play. I've said this before. If I don't know something, I'm just kind of playing on vibes. That is genuinely how I describe my play style.
Real. Oh, and just a quick one for Harlem in the chat. Sorry, I'm Poultry. That was Chai just speaking. And we've got Hangman. Say hello, Hangman.
Hello, how are you? Hi, Harlem.
Big Harlem, bro.
Big Harlem.
Team, you've been playing again.
Oh,
He's
dude.
been playing Leo lately. Yeah, he has.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see.
No, it's very good to see. Harlem was one of my fears in Tekken 7, actually. Because he used to enter all the onlines and everything, and he'd always win or come top 3 or whatever, and he played Julia. And
You might not have the appreciation for Harlem now, Chai, but Harlem was a really strong contender for OCE in Tekken 7.
Really
especially when he had that Julia. He was really good with Julia as well. He knew all the counter hit confirms and all the stuff. It was really nice.
I think it would have been Chip that filled me in on that. I think like there was one day we did like a first to 5, and like whenever like for the most part I haven't as much because he hasn't been playing, but I'd be like, Chip, oh yeah, I'm like playing Harlem today, or I'm like playing XYZ person. He like was really complimentary about it. So I don't know a little bit. No, the one thing though. The one thing I like know the most about Harlem was last SSU, and there's that one photo of Bino just like with this big smile on his face after their set, and Harlem just looking so pissed. It's like I would need to find it, but it's just the most Bino image possible.
That's real, because Harlem played T7 with like a true competitive spirit, like just the kind of shit he'd hit you with, the precision, the speed. And then it's Bino, you know? Bino is there for a good time, not a long time, and it's like, fuck! I respect it, man.
Those, in my opinion, are genuinely the scariest players. Like, not the competitive edge ones, those ones.
It's like
they are scary.
This was the thing with Benson here in Victoria.
Yeah, they're called tournament griefers. They have no stake in the game. They're just here to ruin your day.
Yeah, well, I can't remember the tournament. It might have been I don't think it was a BAM. It was at some convention, and I think Benson beat Dimmy or something. And it was like, yeah, he's just gonna do that. Like, just every now and then, he's just gonna kill someone that is like slated to make top 3, and it is what it is. And then he's gonna post like the wackiest Chloe combo you've ever seen on Twitter, and it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Oh, bro, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think I've ran into a player like that. Oh, actually, no, I'm so lying. It's Yaro. What am I talking about? Yaro is actually the scariest person I've ever played. I changed my answer back. You don't, if you somehow beat him, at least in my position, you didn't win. You just survived.
Yeah, that's real.
That is genuinely how I would describe that, playing Yaro.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever felt like I got a W when I've cinched out a win against Yaro. And
I'm pretty sure.
It's super fucked up because he's really good. He's really good, but he's got ultimate griefer mentality as well.
That's the crazy part. Like, I even said, like, I somehow cheesed my way into beating him in final round, reverse sweep at dusk. And the first thing I said was, I'm so angry. That was literally the first thing I said. I'm just like, I am so angry. That's what it's like playing him.
Oh, dude. Hangman, who's like what's the most angry you've been from a griefer loss or upset in a tournament?
I once lost to Demonic Burning Fist in Tekken 7. This is very early days. And
Yeah.
I just played him in casuals before
Yeah.
the tournament start, and I had a 20-0 streak on him. And then the tournament set happened. I played him on the second game, and then I lost. That was really hard at the time.
Truer words have never been spoken, because that demonic burning fist was one of the biggest stresses of my brain in all of T7, dude. Holy shit! It didn't matter how you were playing in friendlies. If you ran into him in bracket, you had to be ready, because he was going to use every move in the kit. It did not matter. He was.
Who did he play?
I played Paul.
Paul Phoenix.
Paul Phoenix.
Oh, playing Paul just makes me angry, man, every time. Because they'll just say, no, man, he's honest. And it's just the way they say it. I'm just like, as they like death fist 70% of my HP, I'm just like, just don't say anything. Just don't bite back.
They
Just don't
do
bite back.
down forward 1 on block 4 times in a row, and the one time you press, you get a counter hit launcher, and it's like, yeah, cool, man.
Cool, man. I had a great day.
I had a great day. Sweet. Do you reckon in season 2 then? Because you've mentioned there's a few characters there that you're curious about, like Reina, Warang, Deviljin. Do you think you're gonna spend a bit of time shopping around?
Well, it's like kind of complicated for me because I have to do like sub incentives for my chat that have like been
True.
paid off and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've been playing like a lot of Brian. Like I actually didn't think I'd enjoy playing him as much as I did, but I'm at the wall of him right now. I'm like between TK to TG, trying to work out like how to play him because I have to get him and Asuka to GOD.
Mm.
God, I hate my chat so much.
Mm.
But I think before I would try any of those characters, I would have to improve fundamentally a lot because I just don't think I tried like playing Deviljin once and oh god, no.
It's rough. That character's hard.
No.
That character's
God,
really hard.
metal.
Yeah,
Dude.
I
I don't
respect
I don't understand how Rowie makes it look so easy whenever like Rowie is like someone who's helped me improve a lot.
Mhm.
And whenever we play, I just sit down like I don't know how you're doing this, but my god, he makes him look like a top tier.
He's that like I think it's one of the few characters where you can really see that they're not using a lot of moves. So when someone is really good at them, and they're moves that generally require a lot of precision as well. They don't, like Deviljin doesn't have all of these super high coverage Claudio back one kinds of moves. It's like move here, move there, sidestep, jab jab, and then you cop an electric on the chin, and you're like, fuck, that move's cheap. But then you try it, and you get a dick jab, and then you try another one, you get counter hit. It's like, oh, okay, I see it. I see the vision. I'm not built different.
Oh, dude, the people that can like straight up just like electric like and make it look like a jab, I just don't understand how their brain works. I want to know.
Yeah, it's rough. That's me fighting BPG. I don't know if you've had a lot of sets versus BPG.
Oh, I love BPG so much. He's the sweetest, man. I love that guy.
He's awesome.
He is like he's in the category of like what if for me, like not in a bad way, but what if he entered more tournaments and stuff like that. Such a solid player and so nice too. He's so sick.
We had this.
I'm a big BPG fan.
We had this online league during Tekken 7 called the not the Oceanic Tekken League. It was Australia's Got Tekken, which is such a good name. AGT.
Oh.
Hosted by Woe and a few others. Fantastic tournament. And VPG just enters it one week and beats Yagami. And I was like, dude,
What
you
the hell?
won the whole tournament. And those tournaments, T7 had like a really good period where online tournaments around the world were very reliable. One of the biggest tournament scenes during COVID was called the International Fight Club, ICFC, Intercontinental Fight Club, sorry, which happened in EU, NA, and Asia region. And then Australia had Oceanic Tekken League, and then Australia's Got Tekken. And so you consistently had the best players all tuning in, all signing up, playing every single week. And then BPG just rocks up and fucking takes it. And so they had like the spreadsheet for
That was
everyone.
his first AGT as well.
First AGT. So they had a spreadsheet of everyone's like win percentages, and his was like 100%. And it was like, okay, cool, man.
That's like the most BPG shit ever. He's just so casual, but like and so like quiet.
Mhm.
But then you play him and you think you're like fighting a demigod. It's like messed up.
Yeah. You do a jab, you eat electric. That's how it works.
Oh, dude.
That's just how it works, dude.
He was like when I started getting into like Tekken more and more, he was definitely like one of the first names like played, and I was just like, oh, there's a whole nother level now. I think the first good when I'd say pro, I think I ran into, I think it would have been Subject, and he was playing
Mm.
Bears or some shit, and he just beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It was like, but it was like just like, wow, this is a whole different game. I think it was like when I was in like Orange or Red.
Well, funny you should say that. The first time I ran into Subject in Tekken 8 was his Kuma on Yakushima. I remember it like it was yesterday because that was the fastest I'd ever lost a match up until that point.
Oh man.
Straight up. That was when it really got in my head that sometimes you have to block the hell sweep. Doesn't matter the matchup.
Dude.
He hit me with it probably like 4 times in each round. I was like, oh, dude, I'm dying out here.
Out of curiosity, like, and this is to both of you guys, whether it was like tournament or like ranked or like just online in general, when you were first getting into it and you saw a name you recognize, like being like a pro player or something like that, did you kind of like, I guess almost like borderline fanboy, like just like while playing them?
I'll start. I generally fear is what comes to my mind. I don't think I have a super fanboy mentality for Tekken, unless it's like Knee. I think Knee is like the hard exception, not even like the other Korean.
Jesus, what the fuck? Bro, my housemate's streaming Repo
Yeah, she's
right
streaming
now.
as well, right? Yeah.
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 Wait, let me close my door. One sec. I'm listening.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the aura is something that really gets to the underdog player, especially when they're playing against a good player. Yeah, I don't know if you guys feel this. Sometimes I still feel this way, but I have to tell myself, no, like I practice enough that I know that I at least can get this close, or I know what I'm doing for the most part. There's no reason to be too fearful, right? But I don't think I have too much of a fanboying moment. I don't know about you, Ramon.
Oh, dude. Okay. So you say fear, and you say it's a bit distinct from fanboying. I think for me, they're one and the same a little bit. Like the level of fear I have for just the existence of the other player on the screen. The prime example of this, I played Kazumi for all of Tekken 7. She was my main. Please bring her back. I love her. She's got this low, down back 4. And if you've ever heard anything about Kazumi, you've probably heard like 4 things. 1 jab, down forward 1, back 2, which is like a homing mid, and down back 4. Maybe her magic 4 as well. But the reason why down back 4 is such a big deal is it was a 20 frame fast plus 4 low, and it was only minus 12 on block. It was a fantastic low. Had pretty good tracking, insane range, but it was 20 frames, right? And I ran into Wowzer a few times in a row one night, and I knew who Wowzer was. At the time, he was far and away one of the best Tekken players in all of Oceania. Still is. And he blocked my down back 4 no matter what. Every time I did it, he blocked it. I stopped using that move for a whole year. So if you want to know about fanboying, that was, I guess, for me, or like fanboy anxiety, I suppose. All it ended up being was I didn't know enough about fuzzy defense. If you've got a 20 frame low and a 13 frame mid, and those are the only options you're using to mix up your opponent, they're going to hold back for a smidge, and then they're going to press down back, and they're going to beat you doing both of them. And I couldn't catch on to it. And so I got mind gamed out of using one of Kazumi's best moves for a whole year because I was fanboying too hard when I fought Wowzer, and I just assumed, oh, every player above this level that I'm currently at, is probably just going to block this shit all the time, so I'm just not going to use it. It wasn't even launch punishable, it was minus 12, but I was so mind gamed that I was like, yeah, this move sucks. It is what it is.
Oh, dude, it used to be so bad. Like, well, I wouldn't say bad, sorry, but like I would like actually, and I still do. Like I said, I'm like a fan of all of this. I always will be. I used to like legitimately freak out, get excited, like when I was like in reds, purples when the games came out. Like the first time running into Naveed, the first tournament I entered that night, I like played some rank to warm up, and I ran into Yagami on Jack, and I was like freaking the fuck out. I'm like, oh, cool, sick. This is how it's going. Like first game too. It's like I find it so funny going from like that level to now just I'm queuing ranked, and I'm like when I do play, and I find those people. I think the way you mentioned that about down back 4 though, I wish I could have that with how much I spam my DB for. It's so bad. If only I could like tell myself to not press that against certain players for a year, man. I would be loving life.
That's the difficulty, man, because we talk a lot about dopamine in this game. And that actually, it's been something I've been focusing on more recently, is how much dopamine is my opponent trying to farm right now. And I'll use that to inform whether or not I go for a risky mix-up or whether or not I go for some kind of fuzzy block. Because moves like Victor down 4, or down back 4, sorry, they just feel so good. Like,
Oh,
irrespective of it being launch punishable, it's like, oh, well, if he does 1-2 right now, one of the safest things you can possibly do, just a short jab string, I get to send him to the wall. Like,
oh,
I'm doing
it's
it.
like a bad habit. Like when we first started playing, I'd always know like after certain situations, you would just throw like a couple jab checks. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna high crush, and I would just hit it every time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yes. But then there's like some players, it's like I cannot do that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's
at
scary.
all.
It's scary. But that's part of the fun of adaptation, I suppose. Living and learning. What was that I just read? When a lead player sees -10. Oh, Yumi. I once saw Wowzer do down forward 2 into down forward 2 into down forward 2 into down forward 2 on block until it landed at a local when I was kind of new. And I was so stunned. It worked. It changed how I viewed the game.
That's amazing.
I think that's honestly something that really does come with experience as well. Because someone like Wowzer, if you've played him long enough, you know he's very fundamentally sound. Having the awareness to know, yeah, this is gonna work. Just do like the super unsafe dumb thing, but you're in such a calm state of mind that you're like, yeah, it's gonna work. I'm confident.
Yeah, I don't get how people do that. I really don't.
Oh, dude, it's real.
Like there's a couple of players I could like say, yeah, I could do this against them, and like pretty confidently. And then like again, like I mentioned before, then you get to the upper echelon, and it's like, oh, I'm in danger. Like knowing that my mind game just will not work ever.
Yeah, for real. I mean, like Hangman, you've like written pretty extensively, literally, on Tekken 7, Tekken 8, like competitive mentality and mindset shit, I suppose. Stuff like this, like having the confidence, I guess, to run something that you know is like suboptimal or really dumb, but you just know that it's going to work on someone, I suppose. Is that something that you run into? Because you play a very tight, solid game, but there have been instances where you've just done like King down forward 2 like 4 times in a row, and I've gotten counter hit, and it's like, I'm going to shoot myself.
So I haven't really written too much about mentality aspect. I feel like it's an area that I want to touch upon, but it is quite subjective, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's always about basics and fundamentals.
Mm.
So doing a move, a good move, see what they do, how you play around it, and then getting better at like the micro situations. Knowing your options better. Even maybe it's like doing a jab to interrupt number of options, or doing a power crush here that makes it really hard for them to do what they want in a stance, right? So generally, it's things of that nature. But regarding the question, sometimes those things pay off wonderfully, especially in a short set if you have the read on what they like to do
Yeah.
and their habits are. And I'm not talking about like big habits like, oh, after down 4-1, he likes to do down back 4.
Mhm.
I'm talking about when there's a fuck situation happening and then the hesitation happens.
Mhm.
What is their natural response here? What move comes out? When something like that, when a combo drop happens, and then you've seen them do, after a combo drop, they do a particular thing, and it happens like once in a blue moon, right? Those sort of reads are what is what Ulsan told me when I met him at BAM. That's
Yeah,
what they're
true.
for. Those guys are studious.
Mm.
They always watch the tournament games. If you've ever noticed these Koreans, they are always watching the local opposition
Mhm.
when they're watching them in tournament. Why? Because they're trying to pick up some habit that that they think that you might just pre-program,
Yeah.
that you don't even know about yourself. They're
Yeah.
looking for it. Like a combo draft happens, you get up, maybe you jab. Everything. They're looking for everything.
Mhm. And it's a it's a massive mind fuck getting caught out for something like that. When I fought Rangchu round 2 at BAM, I don't know if it was a conscious decision or not, but I'm willing to accept that it was because I thought about it, and Rangchu's got 10x the time in the game that I do. I messed up my execution on a Shuro combo at one point, and like 2 interactions later, another execution check came up where I was pretty much guaranteed a frame trap. Like it was a guaranteed situation where I get a frame trap, but I had to input something with execution. And he just yeeted out a magic 4. And that magic 4, if I did the math, I think he was like technically like 4 or 5 frames in minus. So there was no actual possibility for that to land to beat the option that I was going to do. I did the exact option that I wanted to do and I fucked it. I did it a little bit late and I got counter hit for it. And it was like, oh man, these guys catch on like immediately. It's actually crazy. Actually crazy. Yagami, podcast still going on. We're actually on our way to wrapping up. I did want to ask Hangman if you had any other topics or questions that you wanted to ask
Yeah,
while we've got time.
I got one question for you, Chai. So now you've officially passed 1 year with Tekken, as all we have in Tekken 8. You've gone to a lot of your locals. You really represent your locals. You know, when I heard about you for the first time from Gypsy, he told me you're from COD. I didn't quite understand how big you are at the time. You know, and I didn't know what kind of person that you will be, and I'm glad to know you because you're really energetic and you're genuinely a really nice guy as well. And you have good accountability for yourself. So I'm really glad to know you, and you seem like you're putting in the work in to get better as well. You represent your locals now. You go to YSB, Danny's, and also TIP. You've also been to some mini majors like Road to Evo, where a lot of people from out of state show up. OHN. You came to BAM. You also came to what was it that one Melbourne event that you commentated with Gypsy? Games Night. I don't remember, right?
Big Games Night Out, that
Big
one. The
Games
one
Night,
where
yeah.
you bullied all of Pixel there. Enough for another night.
So 1 year now with the community, right?
Yep.
How do you feel about your new group of friends? You know, your new community here. How's Tekken been like? How's the transition with the community with Call of Duty? I don't know if you want to make differences between COD or Tekken community. You don't have to do that, but quite interested to have your perception, to have your input about Tekken and how the people are. Yeah.
It's so interesting going from a scene where it's just like all about, I guess, video validation to wait, the people here actually have to be good at the game to do well. I don't know. It's like really, really, really well. Hold on. Poultry, you want to thank Big Yagami for the damn raid right there?
Dude, Yagami, chat, 78 rated. That's amazing. Thank you so much. For anyone who's just tuning in, we've currently got Chai on the podcast. We've been going over kickboxing, transitioning from Call of Duty to Tekken, what it's like streaming, travel, the whole kit and caboodle. I'll be posting this one up on YouTube in the coming days, so be sure to check it all out. But it's been fantastic having Chai on the pod. And just continue. What were you saying?
I guess going from like a scene where there is no local scene to, I guess, seeing everyone is the local scene. It's a very stark contrast. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very introverted for the most part. It was actually very, very anxiety inducing. But the moment like going to like Road to Evo and then going to more and more locals, I'm like, my only regret was not doing it sooner. Honestly, I mean, there are some things about Tekken 7, Infinite Azure, ///. I'm glad I missed. I'm very glad I missed. I'm not gonna lie, but it's an amazing scene, and I really wish more people would come and check it out. Like Tekken is a very, very, very niche community, but it has some amazing stories and amazing people that I can't wait to like learn more about. Again, only 1 year into it. There's still, and again, I'm still in the noob category for this. It's really exciting. I really want to try my best to one day go to every major possible. Like I know a certain sunglasses player just recently went to Wild West.
We're saving that for the next podcast.
That's the next podcast.
Right.
Spoilers.
I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that. I'm like,
Spoilers.
man, this guy really looks like Hangman. This guy fucking, what the fuck? I'm hoping I would have, because it was around the same time last year. PAX weekend was the same time as Big Cheese. I'm hoping I can either do Second Wind or Big Cheese. That's like one of the two. SSU is another, but I guess it just depends on where I'm at with work, but also streaming too.
Yeah.
Again, I'm really excited to see what the international scene's like this year, and especially with other Aussies going there as well. It's really, really exciting. That's season 2. It's so close, man. It's what, 11 days now?
It's coming up, dude. I'm excited, man. And for those of you who are in the chat who aren't following Chai already, Mr. Buppa G, I saw that you gave a shout out to Yagami. Thanks for that. If you could drop one for Chai as well. because we want our boy to be able to do this shit 24/7, no breaks, no sleep, no nothing, just full-time subathon. No, but like your commitment to the scene, and then also your willingness to travel, to promo events, to commentate, it's actually fantastic. And I was going to ask that actually. This was one of the last things we wanted to ask is, do you plan on going to internationals? You've mentioned that you have Evo Japan on the cards. What are some events that you'd love to see on the international stage that we might expect to see you at in the future?
Well, hopefully, like going to a TWT finals one day. I would love to see what Evo US is like. Hell, I think and I'm gonna try to I don't know. I would like to go and do like training like over in Japan or Korea for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
I don't know. It's hard to like pinpoint into one. Like there's so many interesting things, and that's why I like hosting events. And I've missed doing it. Like there's just so much that goes into it. I don't understand how. Again, big shout out to this guy. I don't know how Arashi does it every week. Yeah. I genuinely don't. Just doing a weekly tournament, just for the love of the game, man. Doing 4 events like a couple months in between each other was so stress-inducing. But I think what makes me want to do it is the fact that like the top players from our scene take time out of their schedules and their day to enter something I'm putting on. Like when I did my first Coliseum, I'm like, oh, if I get 20 people, I'll be happy. And then suddenly there was like, I think 60-ish. I was like, what? Am I getting trolled? Like, just people like, I was dead set serious. I'm like, people just get a DQ or like, what's the go? I think seeing the talent we have here is genuinely why I got into the game. Like going to Road to Evo and seeing like, not to glaze him because he like rated Yagami like on his run, getting to play rest. So one that I wish 2 people on that note that I wish entered more events. All Black, but he's like busy for his job at the most part. For those that don't know, he actually beat Yagami like at Road to Evo. He sent him the losers there. That wasn't recorded or anything too.
Yeah.
And Extra. I think Extra is like such a big what if scenario. Like imagine what this landscape would be like if he entered more. And there's so many other players that I'm not even mentioning like that. They'll play ranked or maybe enter like an online tournament every now and then, and that's it. It's just like, please. Like for me, New Zealand for that would be fucking Ronan. Yeah. Oh my god, I wish that dude entered events.
I should talk that guy 24/7 because he
would too.
He
but
kicks
I also
my ass
can't.
and he doesn't enter, and it's like, bro, this makes me feel bad. This makes me feel bad.
I think I'm like 0-30 into him online. I'm not even kidding. It's messed up. The dude's so good looking. Dude, every time I need a new aftershave, I'm like, all right, what have you got for me?
Good looking.
I hit him up every
good,
time.
Professional chef, boxer. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
That's another reason I want to go to NZ, bro. I got to get the Thai pads out with him there. We got to bring the Thai pads out to locals.
And you got to ask him to put you onto some tunes because that guy's music taste is immaculate.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I snipe his Spotify a little bit. It's
real as fuck.
It is.
Oh, dude. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Chai. I hope this conversation's been a fun one. For those of you who are in the chat who aren't already following Chai, BPG's just given him a shout out. Thank you so much, BPG. Chai streams consistently. He is a force in the scene right now. I do hope you put on more events because I think a big part of it is just access. I think it's literally just, is there a tournament on right now that's got some players in it that I like, got some friends in it, got some high-level competition going on? Because we saw that in Tekken 7 when everything died down during COVID, everyone got active online. So we're waiting for the next Coliseum. That's going to be a blast.
Look, I'm planning 2 things right now. One's the return to the Coliseums.
Yes.
We are post season 2, but there's something else I'm working on right now that we're going to take our time on for this one because I've got a couple people involved, got a couple names confirmed, and we want to put on a show that everyone from the Tekken scene can appreciate. And I'm already saying too much, but we have something really, really big planned, but we need to take our time with this one because I want to make sure this event, like people will look back on like, bro, when we're in our 40s and Tekken 10 is out, bro.
It's like,
dude. You remember that one like event in 2025? That was fucked up.
Dude, my 40s is only 10
We're going to WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, let's go, dude. Gotta have the kickboxing ring, dude.
Dude, I'm so sad when I watched the 10 Kudans match and I saw they were in a cage. Please bring that back for bands.
Gotta
somehow,
have it.
please.
This was one reason I was asking what internationals you were hoping to snipe. And Checkmate, thank you so much for the raid, bro. Big fan. Big fan.
Love Checkmate. He's sick.
Is-
He's an up and comer as well. He's like another like Nick in my opinion. Nick, Checkmate, and Hobby. They're like free names you got to keep an eye on.
Oh
Tell
yeah,
me.
no, Checkmate's got history. That man's fucking good, dude. The tournament I was thinking of was a Combo Breaker in the US.
I've seen.
Not only do they have the arena, but the venue's open 24 hours for the entire duration of the event. So people are just grinding the entire time. So
dude.
if you haven't looked into the actual logistics of Combo Breaker, seeing you at a Combo Breaker, I feel like that's the dream. I want to go one day. Maybe we'll go together. I think that'll be a blast. But
we get a whole Aussie wrecking crew there. I'm really hoping with all the ones going over to Evo Japan, like something can be organized where we all just rock up to a Tatakai Tuesday as well and just like wreak havoc there. I think it'll be really, really fun.
Real, dude. Fucking real. Well, Chai, it's been an absolute honor. I'm going to post your link tree in the chat. Anyone who's not following Chai, check out his socials. Do you want to plug some?
Look, I try to stream 3-4 days a week. I'm going to be grinding a lot of Tekken ranked when I'm overseas for Korea and Japan. Going to keep trying to enter events, do events. I try to stream normally 3-4 times a week. I'm not streaming. I'm going to try and do one stream while I'm in Melbourne. I'm going to be down in TGX, like we mentioned before, casting some good ass Tekken there. If you're from Melbourne, sign up. It's going to be a great, great time. I'm very, very excited to have the honor and privilege to be casting that. Maybe an IRL stream there, but otherwise, you'll see me regularly again when I get back home. I'll probably go live when the Tekken Talk happens on Monday.
Real.
But if you like Tekken, Scuffed IRL, FPS, I'm your guy. And again, both of you, thank you for having me again. You have all these like amazing names in OC Tekken. You got Miles on here. I'm very, very honored.
Hey, you got to be excited too, both yourself and the rest of the chat, because we've got some fantastic guests coming up. It hasn't been fully confirmed, but we may be having one of the top players from the Indonesian Tekken scene, the current king of Indo, Hangman. What can you tell me about him?
Yep. All right. So as you know, we used to have a Indonesian player in Sydney. His name is Nama, right? So I got to know this guy from Nama. His name is RTM, and he is probably the best, if not one of the best players in Indonesia. And he'll be jumping on the stream hopefully next week.
Next week.
He's a very decorated champion. If you ever seen like his room, you can see all the trophies and the championship belts that he's gotten, from Tekken, both in Tekken 7 and Tekken 8. Been a long climb for him to be a top player, very studious about the game, and a very respected player, and one of the very few, if not the only, properly sponsored player in Indonesia as well, much like Yagami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're going to be having him next Thursday, most likely. We're still confirming the details, but it looks like it's a go. It's going to be on 8 p.m. AEST next week. We're going to push things out an hour, just so that I've got more time to not rush around like a headless chicken after work. But for everyone who tuned in today, thank you so much. Appreciate the raids from Checkmate, from Yagami, and to Chai, and your chat as well. Thank you so much for raiding in. Have a blessed evening, everyone. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
Yalla.
Yola.
Thank you again. John.